And we are live. JTOG episode 16. I'm JT, and of course we have that other guy, Ivan Miranda.
Hello.
Ivan,
Hi everyone.
How do you get a squirrel to like you?
How?
Act like a nut. So I've got to figure out in this relationship, am I the squirrel or am I the nut? Because you're the nut normally, and you're always behaving like the squirrel or looking for the squirrel. So I'm going to go the squirrel. How's that? Yes, bad joke.
It's fine.
Bad joke coming up. Bashes, exactly. And you can thank Wellbot, everybody. That was courtesy of Wellbot.
Always so considerate.
Yeah, yes, indeed. He had some inkling that I would have planned the joke well before. So he private messaged me earlier and he said, I know you've probably got a joke. And I said, no. The joke happens 2 minutes before we go live.
Or less.
If not 1 minute, exactly right. So, okay. Who do we have? We did have Brian Vines at one point, but he's doing the kiddie run as normal, which is fine.
He likes his kids more than us.
I know, it's terrible. It's terrible. Thierry Dieu. Teresa, we have Bashis, as we said, Wellbot, Thready Guzna, Naru, I forgot, he correctly, Naru, no, not Naru.
Naru?
No, type it in again. I apologize sincerely for butchering your name. But
that's kind of not an issue because everybody butchers my name. Nobody says my name correctly.
Ivan?
But with a B, not with a V.
Really? Ivan?
Yes.
Ivan.
Yeah. Yeah.
New row. Okay.
Yeah. My in-laws did tell me the other day why I was referring to myself as Ivan in the channel. And that's because nobody will know that I'm referring to myself if I do otherwise.
Right. Okay. Nuru. Nuru is a better pronunciation, which is good. So not an old Ru, a new Ru. I'll remember that now. That's as an Australian, I'll remember that. Oh, he's gone.
Speaking of which.
Oh, here we go. I know what you're. I absolutely know what you're going to say.
A couple of things.
Okay.
Yesterday I told you a couple of months ago that I was watching a documentary about Melbourne on the TV.
Yep.
But I didn't watch it. I just sent you a still of the TV because I usually don't watch TV that much.
Yes.
But yesterday I was feeding my baby and the TV was on, so I had to watch it. And there was that Melbourne documentary again.
Okay.
And so I realized that you drive in the wrong side of the road.
Yes.
The British.
Not for us.
No, yes, because everywhere you go, it's in the other side.
Yes.
It doesn't have nothing intrinsically wrong, but that makes more difficult for any of you to go any other place in the world apart from the UK and I think one Iceland in the middle of the Pacific or something like that.
Yeah.
But you drive. Stop it. Please call your president or your prime minister or whatever you have.
Yeah, whichever one we have this week. Yeah.
Stop this madness.
Ian's in the chat as well. IR Blinks. He'll defend me.
Oh, he just commented on my channel because I read all the comments.
Okay.
But we will talk about. I have that for later.
Is that what your pen and paper for? Yes.
Squirrel.
Yes, squirrel.
I need to find someone that can design for me a low poly squirrel as my pet, my mascot on my channel.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep, we'll figure that out.
Squirrel. The second thing that I learned about Melbourne is that you come from the land of the superhero.
Okay.
Because how was Melbourne called in the 1800s?
No idea.
Come on.
I wasn't born then.
At least, maybe that was a big lie that was told in Spanish TV. Could be. But who discovered Melbourne or founded Melbourne?
Probably. Well, it wasn't James Cook.
No.
No, I don't even know. I do know, and I just can't remember.
Or maybe I'm completely wrong, and in the documentary they say a lot of lies. But still, the part where you drive on the wrong side of the road matches. So they said a few things. So it was founded by James Batman.
Yeah, Batman. Yes, correct.
So
John Batman, I think. John Batman.
It was called Batmania.
Really?
Or so they said. Yeah.
I'll look that up.
They're receiving history from your own city for a Spanish guy on the other side of the world.
Yeah, I know, but you watched the documentary. Do you watch a documentary on the Basque region?
No way.
Correct.
That's hyper boring.
Exactly right. There you go.
Yeah.
Greg is in the chat.
Yay!
Nuru, Batman, not Batman. There was a guy named John Batman.
Batman. Okay.
Yeah, but yes, Batmania would have been better. Imagine all the conventions we could have here for the superheroes.
Yes. Yeah. But Batman is from Marvel, DC. Do you know? If I ask this question, I can gain lots of enemies, but I have no idea. You know?
I think it's DC because Marvel is all the others. But then again, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
DC is Batman and the shoes.
Yes. And the shoes, Squirrel, is Ken Block, who drives and
oh my God!
He started DC. He started DC shoes. Ken Block is insane.
I've seen at least all the Gymkhanas at least twice.
I've seen up to 9. I don't know if 10's been shot yet. They did a preview like 3 months ago of it for next year.
Yeah, but he's alive by this little.
I don't understand.
It's really good, but the thing is that he cannot win the rallies.
No,
because he needs several attempts at doing the same thing.
He's a terrible rally driver.
Terrible, but really fun to see. And do you know who Squirrel, everyone.
We need
Squirrel alert. Squirrel alert. I want to see a German because I once heard Squirrel. I'm squirreling now. Okay.
So you're Russian dolls, Matroska dolls of the squirrels. Squirrelception.
Yes, we are a triple squirrel now. Yeah, squirrelception.
Squirrelception.
Yes. Okay. The thing is that I once heard that it was really fun to hear a German guy say squirrel.
Okay.
Because they say something like squirrel, or something like that. They cannot say squirrel.
So
I cannot either.
You with a thick accent are picking on someone for not being able to pronounce something. Awesome.
Yeah,
wow.
Now I'm on that side.
Yeah, of course. And that's fine. We can have fun with this. All right.
It's like people being able to say the N word and not the rest of the people.
Yes.
Only people with bad accent can
pick on
the people.
Correct. Yes. I understand. Yes. No problem.
We are all one.
Ah, good. Okay.
I will go
one level out. Yep.
Yes,
yep.
1 level out. The thing is, Danny McCaskill. You know who he is?
I don't know.
You know. Okay, if you don't know who Danny McCaskill is, you should go and check it out on YouTube right now. He's a trial bike rider.
Right. And
he is really, really good, but he's just. I think he's sponsored by Red Bull. Like that.
Yeah, no. He rides like BMX bikes.
Yes.
Not trail bikes. BMX, sorry, and he does he does tricks. Yes, I know who he is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I heard an interview that they made to him once, and they say, why are you not a BMX rider, a pro rider, or something like that? He said, because I like to do more difficult things, but I cannot do them first time.
Yes.
So he needs several attempts to try and do things that are more difficult than what you do on a BMX run or something like that. So he does YouTube films, which are awesome.
Yeah. So there was one continuous one where he did. He was riding along, planks and doing jumping back wheel onto other things, and there was some spinning object that I can't remember what it was. But there was it was a 5-minute continuous run that he did, and there was some not bowling balls. There were some large balls that were rolling down something that knocked something over. I know that's very vague, but I think I know the one. Yeah. Anyway, phew. All right. So how many levels deep? Top level squirrel.
We are out.
We're out?
We are out with Ken Block.
Ken Block? Okay. Ken Block. All right, yeah. So he started DC or co-started, made his zillions, now does Gymkhana, and we're all happy for it.
He can do whatever he wants, and I don't think that Gymkhana's cost him a dime. I think he makes lots of money.
Sponsored. Yeah. Monster and
the people that make the car,
Ford Focus. Yeah. So I've... Go on.
He's like 30 grand or something like that on GoPros in every video. Because there are cameras.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah, of course.
Have you seen? There is one where he does like a 100 turn, and there are like an array of I don't know how many, but maybe 50 GoPros.
Yep.
Which they used to do the bullet time thing that they do on the Matrix.
Yeah.
But they do that brute force with lots of GoPros.
Yeah, okay.
I cannot imagine having to edit that.
No, some poor bastard does. Just looking in the chat, Maya Makes, welcome. Tanner 3D, Greg we've mentioned. Brian Vines is back by the look.
You know that thanks to Maya Makes, I had that beautiful carbon fiber filament that I tried in last week's video from a Printa Pro.
Very good.
That stuff, that's the stuff. Wow. I have a fail, not because of the filament or the printer, but because of myself, a fail printing here. This thing is, that's PETG. Look how thin this is.
I'll put it on you. I'll put it so that you're, I'm only them.
I think if you want to break this, you might be able to break it, but it is really, really stiff and really hard. And look how thin this is.
Yeah.
And it is PETG. The thing is that it prints at the temperature of the PETG. I said that in the video. I did print this at 255 degrees and 76 on the bed, like a dream. This material is like a dream. You should go and check a Printa Pro's website right now, and they are out of them because everybody bought all of them, but you should pre-order this. Buy it. It's incredible. Yes.
Okay. So it's just, well, like you said in the video, it's got infused carbon fiber strands in
20%.
it. Okay.
Yes. Really impressive.
Very good.
Unless you are printing vases.
Whatever. We understand.
You don't need it.
No.
Unless those are structural vases.
Yes.
If you are going to something really heavy on top, then.
Sure. Ian's saying that it doesn't usually add strength because fibers are too short, but he's quite interested now.
Oh, no. There is an evident difference between this and PETG.
Okay.
If this in PETG, it will flex like crazy with this thickness. I should do a comparative test. No, that's Joel Telling's thing, I think.
Oh, Stefan. CNC Kitchen. He's awesome at his tests.
Yeah, he did a review of the Dust 3D, the resin printer.
Yes.
And I had to watch his review to try and make mine work because they sent me one that is even better than his.
Yeah. But
the thing is that they sent me the printer with the wrong firmware. So the printer thinks that is the lower level that doesn't have the resin, the automatic resin dispenser.
Okay.
So I'm unable to print with it, and I'm sending emails to them, one of the technicians has an address that doesn't reply anymore. It says wrong email address. And the other person is replying with automated replying messages.
So they've gone, they've put a rule. If Ivan Miranda, then.
Yeah. No, he replies, he writes the email, but it's like, try this, and try this, and try this.
Oh, okay.
I've already read the manual. I know exactly how the machine works. I told them exactly what the issue with the printer is. And they seem that they don't have anyone that knows what they are doing to reply to me.
Okay. Very good. Maya Makes is saying that the carbon fiber filament should be back in stock on Friday.
Yay!
So that'll be
handy. That makes me really happy.
Good.
Because I'm going to try to do things with 3D printing that now I think that I can try. Yes.
Bye, Thierry. Thanks for stopping by.
Hi.
G'day, Mr. Buttram. How are you?
Hey.
Yes, there is a lady. Well, there's Teresa.
Yes.
I'll get a slap for that. That's all right.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a lady there. Exactly, question mark. I'm glad you put the question mark. All right, what's been happening? I have a couple of things. Let me go to this screen here, and let me go to this screen here, and let me go to transition there. So, that one. Some time ago, we had Ben Levine, with his Filatrack app. So he's made some enhancements to the app. So launched the app. Lots of different interface attributes now. It does barcode scanning. So if you have a barcode on a particular spool, I don't know if that's rendering correctly. Oh, there's the barcode. Puts in the barcode number. So you can track. You'd have to be pretty intense to be doing that. But he's made a lot of improvements. I'm going to get a link. I'm going to maybe have a play with the app as well. I believe Filament Frenzy is playing with it. Perhaps. He was certainly interested in playing with it. But I know that was short and sweet, but it's one of those things that it was worth following up, because he's a young kid, 16, and he's got this filament app idea that maybe we can all benefit from. Next item of interest, now that I'm getting used to doing this out of the corner of my eye. Adam, who did the hex tiles, was talking today about how he's putting ABS down nicely using his Prusa Mark III in a enclosure made out of the IKEA lac table. Okay, so Teresa tagged it just so we could have it. So the reason I put it in here is, what are people doing for enclosures if they have an enclosure? You don't use enclosures.
No, but the Rapman 3.1 that I had as my first printer I only used to print with ABS on that printer.
Yes.
And with the time I realized that without an enclosure, I was not going to be able to print anything that was of a normal size.
Yep.
So I did a kind of a cabinet, like an entire fridge. It was huge. And it had like spool storage below and everything, and in the up like a fridge, like a freezer and the fridge.
Yep.
And in the top part, I had with a door and isolation. How do you say? When you put something that doesn't allow insulation.
Insulation. Yeah.
Yeah, I did put insulation everywhere, double glazing of polycarbonate, and I did have one of these ginormous heaters inside.
Yep.
That kept the thing at a steady 90 degrees Celsius.
Wow.
The interior of the it did print. That was incredible. You could do anything that you wanted.
And your energy meter is going like this: spin, spin, spin.
Yeah, it is. Here, electricity is not that. And I'm telling you, it was really well insulated.
Yeah.
Once you get to the temperature, it doesn't take that much. Well, I know I'm lying, because we didn't have a thermostat. we wanted to get to we wanted to get to 90 degrees, and we got there by thermal equilibrium.
Okay.
So the heater was always on, and by the loss of heat, the temperature got to a steady 90 degrees.
Okay.
After an hour or so.
Yeah,
so
okay.
it was not that efficient. But the electronics of the printer wasn't made for that kind of stress. And it stopped working. And in 2010, you could not buy electronics for 3D printers as you can do now.
Yes.
So after like 2 years, I was for the first time without a 3D printer in my life. And I decided to make the first 3D printer that I made in my house with pieces of wood badly joined together. And I still have that printer. I should show that sometime.
Yeah.
But it was a really, I'm telling you, like planks of wood cut it with a cutter.
Yeah, but
with a knife,
we've got
puts together.
Tom Sanlandra has got one. James Sonic Alchemy, he's got a wooden printer which looks terrible but produces good prints.
Yeah.
You know, it's good for him. Okay, comments. We have comments. We actually started something here. All right, Brian's got a LAC table enclosure. He's not using it at the moment, but does have one. Ian's got about 5 of them. I've got 3, which are still in their packaging, but I bought them because...
enclosures?
Yeah, well, LAC table from IKEA is like $8. Or 10. Yeah. It's $10 here. Server rack enclosure by Maya Makes. Nuru also made a LAC version. So yes. that seems to be the key. Joe Paddock, welcome. How are you? Yeah, so it's very inexpensive. The tricky part is if you want acrylic. That's the trickiest part.
Yes.
But yeah.
But you could put double glass or something like that.
Yeah, you could put whatever you like. Put bloody wall insulation. The aluminium composite or whatever, aluminium foil, heat stuff.
Yeah, when I was doing the big 3D printer, some people asked me where I did get that mirror. Like, that was an IKEA mirror, and I told them, you go to a glass shop, a glass workshop. Like, where do the people buy glass? Yeah. There are shops for that, and local workshops where you can go and get that. You can get aluminum stock. And those are everywhere. That's not only here, because there are always businesses that require that kind of stuff. If you go to Melbourne and you want to put a glass on a table, what do? You go to a glass shop and buy a piece of them. Correct. And they cut it for you and everything.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
People that I will see something that is, not that PC, but younger people forgets that 20 years ago there was no Amazon, no eBay, nor IKEA, nor anything. And you had to get things by other means, like getting out of your house, going to a place and exchange like bills for goods.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm too old for this. No, but there are places that sell things.
Spike, you put at Spike. Oh, there you go. Brian's already answered it. Oh, my chat window is not up to date. Well, Bot's dad used to be a glazier. There you go.
Way.
He could.
That's how you call someone that works with glass, or?
Yes.
It's not the.
No, not glacier, glazier.
Okay. His dad was a really cold person that slided through. No, okay.
Yes, but he had glass sled, very slippery. Sled? Sleigh?
Yes.
But made out of glass. So glazier makes for the glacier. And he could slide down it. I lost you with squirrel. Anyway,
It depends if I'm trying to think seriously about what you said, or in terms of
I'm joking.
of trying to get a joke.
Joking.
Because if I get lost in translation, you never know where I'm going to end up.
No, I see your face glaze over. Exactly.
Okay.
Welcome, Spike. Welcome, Graphit. Matthias, how are you?
Hey.
So we got a few more irregulars. Teresa
Hey,
Squirrel.
Matthias.
Yes. Bad jokes. Yep, always bad jokes. Okay, more things. So that was just that one. Oops, wrong window. There, corner of eye. That one there. Now, a week or so ago, there was a conversation that I had with Ian about having seen multiple train-related things in a couple of days. Turns out that two of them were his. I didn't realise at the time, but one of them I couldn't say because you'd shown me some train tracks after last stream, so I couldn't say where I'd seen them. Right, obviously, so I really couldn't explain where I'd seen trains and or tracks. So Ian's done this fantastic set of tracks for his kids, which was awesome. But not only just the tracks there, he's made little bridges and joiners, as you do. But look at this layout here. Did I get it? Yep, I got it. A turntable.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There's a turntable in there as well, and all the joiners and everything.
Oh yes.
Ian's train company, exactly.
I will have to rip off his design for my baby because he has the same train set. That
looks IKEA. Is it IKEA?
Yeah.
It looks like IKEA train set.
And if it is not, it is exactly the same.
Yeah, there'll be a standard gauge, I guess. So that was pretty cool. So thanks, Ian, for posting all that good stuff. It's actually
once I post something on Patreon, then it's already public domain.
Yeah, totally.
I get that.
It's 4 different ones combined.
Yeah.
Standard-ish. Yeah, that's about right.
Did you see the train video? Did you have time to watch the entire 25 minutes of last week's video?
Your one? Of course. I even commented. Of course, I commented. And I said that the train engine looked like the little dune buggies from Westworld, which was a nice black sort of dune buggy looking thing. But I also said it looked like it was just the frame was slightly twisted, which it couldn't have been. And that's why one wheel was coming off.
That's exactly why. The thing is that I assembled it twisted.
I thought it was twisted.
Because there was some slack on the holes that I did in the spaces between the two sides of the chassis.
Yep.
So it was like slightly twisted, and one leg was up when it got to the corner.
Yeah.
And the flange didn't catch on the rail.
Correct.
And hit the rail instantly.
Yeah. It looked exactly like
happening.
that. Yeah, okay. Because at one point, I think you even twisted it yourself.
Yes.
And I've gone, it is what
I tried to do that.
Yeah.
But the carbon fiber didn't let me. I would have had to unfasten every single bolt just to be able to twist it.
Yeah. Yep.
And the thing is that I uploaded that video to YouTube. When I pressed publish, it was 12 minutes before the 10 p.m. on Friday. That is my upload time.
Ah, okay.
So I only had 12 minutes to spare.
Right.
I usually dine at 8 p.m. That Friday, I dine after I pressed publish the video.
Okay.
So I skipped everything between getting out of work on Friday until 9:48.
Yes.
I didn't. I ate lunch like in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Ran to the shop, did the recording, the edit, and everything, and then I breathed. Like,
what's your bandwidth like? Up.
Insane. I don't know how much is it, but uploading a video takes like 3 minutes or something like
Oh,
that.
okay. Awesome.
I have I think I have 300 megs at home.
Yep.
But the service provider just sent us a message saying that they were going to double that without charging us anything.
Wow, that's awesome.
Here it's really cheap.
Yeah.
And here in the shop I have 300 megs symmetric.
Okay, that's nice.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Okay. Something else that caught my eye, which was, let me find the button here, was this. This is a wavy, obviously, bowl. It's one of Fernando's bowls.
Yes.
But I asked the question, how did you do this? Like, is this a multicolor printer? Did you pause and, you know, then filament swap and whatever? What do you think the answer was? It's a gorgeous print.
He had a 2-color spool.
No.
He did paint it afterwards.
No.
The manufacturer sent him failed spool.
No.
That was missing the coloring in half of the spool. He dipped it in paint.
No. No. All right. Here's what he did. He literally just chopped the filament. He put an extra PTFE tube here.
Yes.
And he stuffed the other filament behind and pushed it through.
I've done that several times.
But that's how he did it. It wasn't a traditional filament swap, but
how do you do a filament swap if you don't do it like that?
If you do a M600 in the G code, you pause the printer,
yes.
It moves it away. You do your filament swap, like with spools, right? And then you start it again. This one, he kept printing and he just stuffed it in.
Yeah, but when I have a spool that is about to finish, what I do is I cut the end of the filament.
Oh, hold on. Well, let me do. No one's seeing your actions. There you go, squirrel. Go.
Okay. What I do when one spool is about to finish and I'm still in the middle of a print, which with the new Mirandament 4-kilo spools doesn't happen that often.
I was going to say, surely not.
But it used to happen a lot when I was using 1-kilo spools. The thing is that what I do is when the filament is going in, I just cut the filament that is going in. I prepare the next filament from the next spool, and I press it inside of the extruder and let it go inside the bowden.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I don't get the filament out.
Yeah, correct.
It's the same filament.
I'd never considered that as an option. Ian's saying no pause. Teresa's saying Bowden hot swap. Mr. Buttram saying it's tough to do because of retraction. I believe that was vase mode, so no retractions. Oh, Brian's already said that. Sorry, apologies there. Yes, but we're all on the same page. And Bash is saying it's the only filament swap he knew until last year. So there you go. So we all learn things.
Okay.
See, now we're talking.
Yes.
Now we're talking 3D stuff, not just crap that we, squirrel about. This was another random thing. Let me just switch there. Whoa! This came hot on the heels of 3D Maker Noob. Sorry, Joe. I was going to 3D Maker Noob when he was painting his. Oh my God! What's the character? Hello, someone help me!
Sonic.
Ryan Reynolds. Oh my God!
Deadpool.
I was going to say dead, but I went completely blank. Anyway, so he had a little spinning platform that he painted on. Anyway, I saw this. So someone has. Why is that not playing? Hello.
Skype has DRM.
Skype has DRM. Oh, that's no good. That's no good. Well, there we go. Let's try that one. There we go. That wasn't as good as what I wanted to see, but let me rewind it. Sorry, guys. That was a bit crap. All right. So chop a spool in half, print some parts, put some marbles, and you have yourself a spinning platform. That was pretty cool. Use of
Yes.
spools. Considering nobody went with our terrible challenge for this week of balancing spoons.
I was hoping that at least one person was going to do it, but it seems that it was not a very popular one.
Nah, it was terrible. That's
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
And of course, Brian has chipped in with "Don't take it apart, or you will lose your marbles." G'day, James. How are you? We were discussing your
Hey.
wooden framed printer earlier.
Yes, we were.
Because Brian didn't have one. Ivan had one, and of course Tom Sandlandra has had one, or still has one. Daisy, I think he called it. G'day, Chris Riley. Wellbot only has 4 spoons, and I think I wrote somewhere that it must be a minimum of 3. So he's probably got 2 in the sink, which means that he was negated.
But you have to. What I was hoping is that someone was going to send the obvious option. Send a photograph of a spoon laying flat on a table, and you won.
Yeah, well, I was going to do like teaspoons, eight
nobody,
teaspoons.
But the thing is, it was so unpopular that if you just put a spoon on the table and took a photograph of it, you would have won.
You would have won
this challenge.
All the monies.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
The prizes and the basket and
yeah, exactly, and the meat tray. Ian, thanks. Yeah. Dolly was the printer, not Daisy. Dolly.
Like the ship.
Correct. Yeah. It's a clone. It's a clone.
Yeah.
It's a clone printer. That is literally, I believe, the what's going on there. So you're absolutely on track for a squirrel. You've done pretty well.
I need a squirrel.
Yeah,
I have to do that.
We'll get you a squirrel. All right, let me pause this one because this one is completely worthy of seeing it from absolute scratch.
Yes.
Let me go here and click there. All right.
Move our faces out of the way, please.
Yeah. I'm doing the whole thing. All right. This magical piece of kit. Have a look at this. Brian Vines' 3-dimensional Christmas ornament, courtesy of Alkesh One. It was insane. So
really?
we're super thrilled about the 3D-ness.
Yes.
It was just incredible, and of course he's released all of these things on Thingiverse, which is sort of somewhat awesome. And for some reason, probably because, well, I actually know the reason, because we talked about his venture in this little Christmas ornament stuff, he actually did one for us too. Have you seen this?
I saw that, but I have a terrible issue with the scrolling because I saw it and I said, I will reply later.
Yeah.
When I have to write with my 2 fingers.
Yeah, well done.
No.
So you didn't, did you? No. Anyway.
No.
So.
I think that I didn't.
Yeah.
I might have.
Anyway, this one actually went through some revisions. So I said to him, look, I'll send you my JT as SVG and the JTOG text, which it is because it wasn't quite right. That wasn't a criticism, it just wasn't right. So then he actually did the JTOG text in the right font, and he did my JT SVG that I already had. So that was pretty cool. So I'll actually use that as part of a maker coin. I was actually having ideas of how I was going to make my maker coin, and it actually involved spinning this way inside an outer ring. So I'll actually use that design as a basis. It's just, time.
Okay.
I have one more thing, I believe. Yes, one more thing. Let me zoom that one up. Scrolly. I am in a forum with eSun because I'm one of their, I don't know, members. I don't even know what the terminology is. social influencer is some bullshit that I have been coined with. Anywho,
Okay.
they asked the following question, which was, what slices does everybody use? And
Oh,
I
yes.
said, I actually don't know. So I started a poll, and the poll was obviously more than one question. So I did multiple polls, but I gave instructions. Fill your poll out here, or here, or here, or here. Okay? And
Yes.
Thierry rightly considered that this was for JTOG. And he wrote so. He said, is this for JTOG? And I said, no, but guess what? How about
No, it is.
how about I make it for JTOG? And the outcome is that. So
Okay.
in first position we have Cura. Then we
Yes.
had, I've got to read it off this screen here, Slick 3R. Now there was some conversation whether or not this was the Prusa edition of Slick 3R or Slicer or not. I said, look, just it's an informal sort of poll. There were 113 responses, which was sort of good. And there's the percentages, there's the numbers there. So Cura was 33, Slick 3R was 31, Simplified 3D 19, Octoprint, which is Cura as well, I believe, unless someone wants to correct me in the chat, was 11, Craftware 4, Other was 4, and I believe the others were Prusa Slicer, because people actually wrote to me saying, hey, you know, what do I do? Repetier, MakerBot, Astroprint, Ice SL. Astroprint were the people that did the spool with the marbles.
But Repetier is not a slicer, I think.
It's an engine. It's like an Octoprint, is it not? It's a front end. So yeah. And then Matter Control, Self CAD, and then a couple of zeros. So that was an extra interesting thing. I pulled the data this evening and rounded everything up to where it should go. And
I tried Matter Control last week.
oh, on your Pulse.
And I'm really impressed.
Yeah.
And then I went to their website, and they have like Matter Control 1.7 and then one Matter Control without anything, and it says beta.
Yes.
Beta. So I said, no way I'm going with the beta with the time constraints that I'm having. I will go for the sheer release 1.7. And I had to contact them and say, hey guys, this doesn't work. It doesn't print. It crashes all the time. And they say, please be sure that you are using the 2.0 version and not the 1.7 that is obsolete. And then, why do you have a version that everybody wants to use in beta and one version that you don't want anyone to use in stable release?
Yes.
On the same page.
Yeah.
And once I switched to the 2.0, that I think it has been phased to stable release this Monday, it works. I am really impressed.
Okay. Now, I know for a fact you don't do a lot of configuration in slices. You keep them pretty much stock standard. Ivan prints at 50 millimeters a second, and I said, or 40 or 50, and I said to him, why doesn't he print at 60? And he goes, I don't know. This is how it was set up. So I just said, you know,
I hit the button, a part comes out.
Yes. But I'm thinking that 100 hours of printing could turn into 80 hours of printing, and you said,
yeah,
I don't care. I've got printers, and yeah.
I'm not watching.
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, you are. You've got a camera.
Oh, yeah, but that's only to know, maybe on the weekends, to know if I have to come to the workshop to swap prints.
Yeah.
To see if they are finished. Just not to come here and they haven't
I understand.
I have a CapTubes update.
Oh, good. I was going to ask.
All the straight tracks that you've seen in last Friday's video that were printed with Mirandament PLA in red from the 4 kilo spools have been printed with the printer that has the CapTubes.
Yes.
And for now, it still prints like the first day.
Oh, very good.
And I still have to get out of that printer several more meters of those tracks, so I will keep you updated.
So normally you'd put 4 or 5 kilograms through before you start seeing the yucky residue.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Still.
So, well, that's good.
The CR10 Mini that doesn't have the captives has already got clogged.
Yep.
So I will swap the hot end on that one and add the captives again. We'll see.
Okay, good. All right, just looking at the comments talking about slices. Octoprint uses ancient Cura. Yes, Cura. Same engine.
The other day at work, my colleagues were printing on a CR10.
Yep.
And they showed me the prints that they were getting. And I looked at the prints and said, this is the most terrible print that I've ever seen. And I watched all the prints that they had done before that. All those were terrible. And I said, but what the hell are you doing with the printers? I have the same printer and it prints perfectly.
Yeah.
And I just thought I'm going to check one of the prints that they are doing now. They were printing at 80 millimeters per second in one printer and 100 millimeters per second in the other.
Ah, good.
So the extruder was missing every 10 steps was missing one.
Yeah.
It was like slow speed for a good print is necessary.
Oh, absolutely.
Unless you have a really great printer.
Yeah, well, a Core XY can do insane sort of things. Some Deltas can do really quick, I think. I don't know. I've never used a Delta.
It's not only the speed of the. It's not only how fast you can move the extruder.
No, it's the extruder and the actual pushing of the filament.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Yeah, I understand. Spike uses Octopi on all of his printers, and a Sonoff on each. Lovely.
I have all the Raspberry Pis and all the Sonoffs to put on all my printers, but I haven't had the time, and I think I have those components a year ago.
Yeah. Time is a commodity that we're all lacking.
Yes.
Well, I did actually buy a A10M printer, so the dual color, the JAYTEE. It arrived within like 5 days or 6 days. It arrived
from China?
No, Australian warehouse. So yes, from China to Australia, and then but it was in the Australian warehouse already, I believe. But they delivered it on a Saturday. So Friday night, I tweeted out saying, "Looks like I'm not getting it for the weekend." That's good because it gives me time to make room for it, and
yes.
get rid of a giant treadmill that I also had in my makerspace. So the treadmill's gone.
Yes.
But you know when you make a mess to help start cleaning up, the mess is still there. Yeah, the mess is still there. But I've still got printers going, so that's all right. And the
you tell me, I have all the workshop mess behind the shelves on the front door because I kept bringing stuff that I don't put in its place. And now I have to do I will try and do this week the covering of the door. So I have to remove all the trash from that place. And I will put it in another place, which is going to be messed up for weeks or months.
Yeah, and then you just need a Japanese screen to cover it.
Oh yeah.
So that when it's on camera, he's got a pretty Japanese screen.
But I can always point the other way around.
Yeah, but you just say, I've got a secret project behind there. Because you've always got secret projects.
Yes.
a lot of the times when Ivan jumps on, we have a quick scan. Is there anything visible behind him that shouldn't be seen?
Today I pre-scanned the table behind me before talk.
All right, sorry. Comments. Teresa had a CNC delivered on the weekend.
I want one.
Yeah, well, we know.
I'm bored.
Thierry, is Thierry still in the chat? I don't know if he had to go because of school run. Thierry did a video on looked like about the size of a tennis racket, but a maze. He did a CNC maze, and he's going to cover it with acrylic and put a steel ball in it. I watched that video today. It was actually really good. So that's cool. So Teresa, do CNC recently or once upon a time?
What's the machining surface, the area? Is it big? Is it small?
Oh, it was her neighbour's. When you said
And
it went across the road, I thought they just got the wrong delivery address or something.
are you allowed to assemble the CNC and give it a go before they? That's not
I'm
not a
sure.
nice. Not,
I'm sure she'd be able to use it.
yeah, but the thing is that if you assemble the CNC and give it a go, when your neighbors come back, you can say to them, "I've just sorry, I've just fixed your machine and it's tuned and everything works perfectly."
And I will send you the bill. Or you can let me
Oh
use it.
yes,
Or you can let me use it
yes,
whenever.
yes. This is weird. I'm receiving a call for. There is people in the photograph, but I don't recognize them.
Ah.
It's like one of those WhatsApp calls where they get your phone from somewhere and they call you just to sell you something.
Yeah.
Through WhatsApp.
Yep. Yes.
Squirrel.
Squirrel. Absolutely. I've got my phone face down because I'm still getting Twitter notifications and stuff.
Yeah, but I get this.
That's why I don't wear.
Yeah.
I've got enough distraction. I am absolute, easily distractible. I am the squirrel master. So I try and avoid distractions wherever I can. Wellbot, like everybody else, bills are the only thing he gets sent. A pair of squirrel boys. Yeah, something like that.
Yes. Oh, what the JT and that other guy. Squirrel Boys should have been the name of the podcast.
Squirrel boys? Well, we can't
Squirrel
change
Boys.
it now. We had 3D Maker Noob retweet today that the episode was starting. Not starting 8 hours ago. He retweeted that
Hey.
that it was happening, which was cool.
Yes, it is.
Teresa only gets other people's stuff. Yep, correct. There was one other thing that arrived in the mail. This arrived yesterday or today. All the days blend together. There we go. Oop.
Cylinders.
Yeah, well, standoffs, yes. So M3 tapped. I have an opinion, and I want to experiment. I want to put stiff aluminium Y carriage plate on my Cocoon Create, which is a Wanhao Duplicator i3+.
Does it have bed leveling sensor?
No, but I have a BL Touch, which if I watch Brian's video again, I'll know exactly how to do it. I'm thinking of, instead of using springs, providing I square the frame and make sure the gantry is level, to yes. the plate, I'll use standoffs instead of springs.
I didn't get exactly how bed leveling worked, and in the Pulse XE I did mess the bed because I didn't realize that once you do the bed leveling, you have to put the bed leveling information in the G code. It's not on the printer.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't slice with that information on the file, because I did one print from the computer to the printer with bed leveling. I did the bed leveling process, and then I started the print. But then the next thing that I tried was to put a processed file, a sliced file on an SD card, and it put it on the printer. But on that SD card was not the bed leveling. It didn't apply the bed leveling correction. So the first thing that the head did was scratch the entire bottom of the the Garolith bed with the ruby nozzle.
Oh, nice. So who won? So the ruby nozzle had to win.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's kind of it could have been the most expensive head crash in the history of my printers.
Right, okay.
Like messing up the ruby nozzle and the Garolith bed.
Well, the nozzle's like $80 US.
Yes.
I don't know what the Garolith plate is.
I don't know either, but it's expensive too, I think.
Yeah, right.
And I don't even know what garolite is, but the carbon fiber sticks to it, or the PETG with carbon fiber sticks to it, like it's perfect.
Okay, and does it release?
No, it doesn't release.
No. Intentionally release. How the hell do you get it off?
No.
You bend it.
No, I had to specifically file one of my spatulas.
Yeah. Wow.
This is now extremely sharp.
This is now hospital material.
Yes. So I could remove the prints without damaging the garolite bed.
Okay. Cool.
And this requires to try it from like 6 points or something like that before you can take it off.
Okay.
It's not enough with lifting one corner.
Right. There you go. Spike said you have to add the leveling command to the slicer in the start G code, which is a G29, I believe, is the.
I have no idea, but there is a checkbox on the matter control software.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you don't have to put the points or the mesh anywhere. You just literally put a G29. I think someone tell me, because I've never done it, but I've read enough about it that I think it's G29.
But the info is on the printer or is in the computer that launches the because there is no way to do the bed alignment from the printer. Or at least
no. You have to, as Spike was saying, you have to trigger it in the G code. So if it's not stored in the printer, because I believe printers can store some data, and you don't have to run it every single time, but G29 in the start G code after, I think it's after G28, is actually the process it goes through, and you can do 16 points. Yes, thank you, Spike. G29 it is. It can do 16. Does the pulse do 16 points or 9 points or 25? Or you don't know? You don't know. Okay. I'm sorry I asked. Yeah, G28 first.
I think I remember that I saw somewhere that you could adjust the number of points and the matrix or the points or something like that.
Yeah.
But very vaguely. Last week was like a phew.
Yep, I understand. All of the weeks are going like that.
No, there are better weeks like that than last one. Last one was really, really hard.
We're less than 5 weeks from Christmas. I'm going, shit, it's the 20th.
Yes.
So we're 5 weeks from Christmas.
Yes.
Chris Riley has some tips with the pulse matter control.
Oh yes. Yes. That was my impression. That's why I crashed the head into the bed. I did a really bad mistake. Yes.
When I was doing my ultra bass, and this was a question I asked, I know we're over time. When I was doing ultra bass recently, I got my Z offset too close to the bed, and the PLA is now etched in the ultra bass. So I've got a 3-dimensional print of just a key tag thing, like one of these.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I have that shape in the ultra bass where it infused or fused to the surface, and now whenever I do a print, because I do client jobs print face down so you get the nice surface, if so I have to skip around that one, which is why I was asking about removable plates the other day. I get the shape on the print, and same with the word ultra bass, in the front right hand corner.
Yes.
But yours is sideways. If you print on that, the word ultra bass embeds into your print, which makes sense given that it's raised, a fraction of a millimeter from the surface.
Yes.
But you can see it. You can actually read it on the print.
Yeah. I have all my ultra bases have something marked on them, because when I swapped the plates, I forgot that I had to adjust the set height.
Yep.
And I crushed every single head on them.
Yeah.
Or when I swap nozzles, I forget if those are the same length of the previous ones, and I always crush the head into the print.
Okay. Good.
No, but
excellent. Ian, I've heard several people say they sand their ultra base eventually, but not initially. Ivan's had no problem. I've had no problem, and we're in pretty
With
disparate.
what?
Um, making the sticking to the ultra base.
Do you remember that I mentioned you that I ordered a new ultra base for my Anycubic Mega i3 because I thought that it wasn't sticking, the prints weren't sticking like at the beginning?
Yeah.
I was wrong. I did swap the nozzle on the printer, and I forgot to adjust the set height, and the prints
so it was too far away.
It wasn't print.
Yeah.
Yes. So I did the adjustment, and I have now a spare
Now you
i3
have
Mega
a spare.
Ultra base. Yes.
Very good.
Spares. So, and that printer has seen, I'd say, 20, 30 kilos of plastic easily, and the parts still stick to the bed like the first day.
Yep. Yep. Very good.
The bed is completely destroyed. It looks appalling, but
and it still works.
Stick.
Yep.
Yes.
Very good. All right. Time is upon us.
Yes.
Well, time is upon you. More or less so me. It's only 1:36 a.m. here.
Go to bed.
No. I want to see what temperature is because it was bloody hot before.
Oh.
Not that it actually matters. Because Teresa and I were trying. There you go. 22.7 degrees Celsius.
Are you going to go now for a walk or?
Nah. Don't be stupid.
Nah.
Ladies and gents, thank you very much once again. I hope you had a good time. Thumbs, likes, all that sort of shit. It's good to see it in Twittersville when people do the like.
Yeah.
If you've got any ideas for JTOG17, tag it on Twitter. 14 degrees Celsius right here now. Oh, good, Teresa. So it's a bit chillier than last time. -3. Thierry was telling us the other day it was -19 when it was 19 here. So that bugger that.
Oh my God.
All right,
That's
thank you very much, everybody. We'll catch you
Thank
next
you.
week. All being well, I can't see why we wouldn't, but yes, we'll talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.